Right now, as a 16-year-old, what's your long-term goal?
To get to the NBA.
Do you want to be the best?
Yeah. Every day you gotta go out there and work because there's someone out there working too. And if you stop, I think they can pass you up. So every day, my coaches push me, I push myself, and my teammates push me. My mother brought me up real good.
Steph Curry will not be in the conversation for a championship in the next 4 years.
I clearly remember some experts and talking heads, big zero of how many championships we would have going forward.
I'm doing something that I love to do, and that's play the game of basketball.
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
I don't know if you've noticed yet, but the generation of basketball that we all grew up on is slowly fading away as the NBA ushers in a new wave of stars. With an Anthony Edwards commercial here and a Tyrese Halliburton promo there, and basically any exciting young player not named Paolo Banchero becoming the next faces of the NBA, it's clear that times are changing around the league. With the new CBA kicking in, it seems like the era of the superstar and hometown hero is fading away. Gone are the days of all of those huge ESPN promotions for the NBA with all of those mega stars on road trips. Well, all of those megastars and Carlos Boozer on road trips.
I'm not eating without hot sauce.
And you can't forget about all of those legendary ads, like the one of KD randomly bagging that kid's mom.
Go play. Mommy's got some things for daddy to do.
Hell, and you can't forget about the greatest rap beef of the 21st century, James Harden versus Stephen Curry.
Can I get playback?
Okay. I wear my shirt open so you see my chest, girl. So hard into Is that me?
I'm getting off topic, but look, okay, the point is, with the current trajectory of the league, it seems like every year the teams at the top aren't the star-studded big threes or MVPs continuing their dominance anymore, but rather a team that has an overabundance of depth, defense, and talent. The Cavs, the Celtics, the Thunder, the Rockets, the Magic. What do all these teams have in common? They are all top 3 in their conferences this year. They're all incredibly deep, and they were all absolutely terrible not too long ago. Okay, well, except the Celtics, but they don't count. They've had handout after handout. Actually, timeout. Can we talk about that real quick? The Celtics have won a championship off of scamming the Nets, scamming the 76ers, scamming Isaiah Thomas, scamming Kyrie, scamming the Bucks, scamming the Wizards, all while scamming every single NBA fan into thinking they were frauds just to roll to the easiest chip of all time. Anyways, as it stands right now, these young, scrappy teams with copious amounts of draft picks and depth are beginning to take over, but what makes teams like the Thunder and Rockets any different from teams doing the exact same thing while failing, like the Jazz and the Pistons, who, by the way, chose the better talent out of this draft, had better picks in all of these drafts, and literally drafted the exact same player as the Rockets genetically, yet they're still not as good as them. Seriously, what happened to the Rockets that's made them contenders overnight? And is it all a fluke? Or will we have a new Western juggernaut to keep an eye on? I'll explain all of that and more right after you click the zoom out button, the little thumbs up right under it, and the little red rectangle right there. Yep, that one. Nice, dude. All right, thanks. That's right, we were approximately one classroom of people away from 2,000 subscribers, and we could hit that super quickly overnight if only a few of you 99% decided to help a young buck. So if you want to claim your early ticket, go ahead and hit that button, be my guest. And now that I got my mandatory begging out of the way, let's figure out the Houston Rockets. The Rockets currently sit at the 2nd seed in the Western Conference, boasting 15 wins, which was an achievement that took them all the way until March to accomplish last season. They haven't started this hot since Harden and haven't been this fun to watch since then either, with the only difference between the two teams being, well, everything. The last time the Rockets were good, they were a one-man show, an offensive overload of just letting James Harden cook up 60 whilst all PJ Tucker's big ass had to do was jiggle up and down the court. There was absolutely no defense being played on this Rockets team, emphasized by this timeless clip of James Harden.
Oh my God.
Wow, that really never gets old, bro. And despite them being an unorthodox abomination of three-point shooting madness, they were the only team in history to go toe-to-toe with the KD and Steph Warriors, so hey, I mean, give them their respect. This time around, the Rockets are the exact antithesis of what we knew them for. There is not a single star on this team, rather a bunch of glimmers meshing together and shining as one. Jalen Green is super talented, Alperen Sengun is super talented, Amen Thompson is super talented, Tari Eason is super talented, Dylan Brooks is on the team. Cam Whitmore is super talented. Fred VanVleet looks like Drake. Jabari Smith Jr. is super talented. This team feels like a young, explosive AAU team, but one where the coach occasionally plays. And Drake is on the team for some reason. This is not a one-man show in any way, and what the Rockets of old lacked in defense is where this team gets their identity. The Rockets defense is one of the most in-your-face, physical, exciting young defenses being played in the NBA today. I mean, just look at this clip. They got the other team looking like they're taking storm damage, bro. How is this fair? They don't ever really pop on the stat sheet, but this team really plays hungrier than any other I've seen. I hate to be the one to have to say it, but Ime Udoka, even with all of the behind-the-scenes diddling and unfaithful activity, this guy is a damn good basketball coach, man. He knows what he's doing. Earlier, I mentioned the countless opportunities the Pistons have had to get a leg up on the Rockets, but no matter what they do, there's no amount of draft capital and tanking that can make your players want to play basketball. I mean, take a look at last season. That was damn near the hottest dumpster fire in sports history. They were awfully coached and so mentally down, and I can't even blame the coach at that point. I don't even blame the players. Who wants to hoop on a team being called possibly the worst team in sports history? They were hating on this team every chance they could. If it wasn't for Cade Cunningham, honestly, the only thing separating the talent from the Pistons and a team like Duke would be the fact that one of those teams have a generational talent and the other one has J. Cole. This year, however, it seems like the Pistons are getting it figured out, but they're still a step firmly behind the Rockets, no matter what they do. Ime Udoka has transformed this team from a cesspool of random talent gelled together behind the face of their team, aka the guy who was dry humping his teammate, to now the Rockets are working as one, playing behind their quarterback in Alperen Sengun until they need to get a quick bucket, in which then they turn to Jalen Green to play his fuck it we ball peach jam style of basketball and do whatever the hell he wants, which apparently includes dry humping his teammate. I guess we're just supposed to move on from this, guys. What is going on? Everybody eats offense looks to be the theme for the success in the NBA this season, with the two biggest vouchers for young depth and insane defense being the Rockets and Thunder resting atop their Western throne. Young depth and a defensive identity used to be how you could describe the Timberwolves, but all of a sudden we've lost every shred of that, and it is unbearable to watch. I'm sorry, I can't take it anymore. I had to say something, okay? Release me! Release me! You could argue that the Thunder easily have more talent, but that won't change the fact that the Rockets just got their lick back on them only a few nights ago, depending on how lazy I am when I'm editing this.
Hey, this is editing me here, and that was actually 2 weeks ago, but they played again recently in the semifinals of the NBA Cup, and I'm not gonna lie, the Thunder did shit on them, so just ignore that whole part of the video.
In the end, no one knows how far this young unit will actually go until it's time for the playoffs. Hell, this could all be a fluke and they could go on a massive losing streak, only capable of being performed by the Rockets any day now. But regardless, I'm excited to see how all of these young teams clash and contend. I see a lot of people online giving that opinion that parity is a bad thing for the NBA and it's never gonna really build a culture around a team. And I even see people saying that they miss the Cavs versus Warriors series and all those super teams continuing to be dominant until they fall. But in my opinion, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I bet 90% of the people who tweet that have never actually watched those series. And if they did, they would remember how absolutely boring it was. 2015 was fun as hell to watch. 2016 was fun as hell to watch. And then the Warriors cheated and it wasn't fun anymore. How come they get 2 out of the 3 best players in the league? Not fair, not fair, not fair. No, but seriously, seeing those teams compete year after year after year kind of sucked the fun out of the NBA. And this parody has been an absolute joy to watch, at least for me. And I think we'll all come to like it eventually. It'll be extremely fun seeing these young dogs go toe-to-toe in the playoffs, and it'll be really not fun when the Celtics mollywop every single one of them one by one. But for now, let's enjoy the early season and hope maybe that our team is next up. Oh, okay, maybe that your team is next up. The Timberwolves are forever cooked. Our window is done. Alright, that's all I've got for y'all. I'll see you all in the next week or two. And remember, subscribe. It's free.